Welcome to this hard Book of Judges Bible quiz. There will be 10 questions and you'll have 10 seconds to answer each question. So let's begin. Number 1. How many sons did Gideon have? A. 10. B. 24. C. 70. D. 100. You have 10 seconds. The answer is C. 70. And you can find this in Judges chapter 8, verse 30. Number 2. Why did Jephthah flee to the land of Tob? A. He was illegitimate and his brothers drove him out. B. He killed one of his brothers. C. He wanted to spend his inheritance. D. He eloped with his neighbor's daughter. You have 10 seconds. The answer is A. He was illegitimate and his brothers drove him out. And you can find this in Judges chapter 11 verses 1 to 3. Number 3. Against which enemy did Jephthah lead Israel? A. Ammonites. B. Philistines. C. Midianites. D. Edomites. You have 10 seconds. The answer is A. Ammonites, and you can find this in Judges chapter 11 verse 5. Number 4. How long did Abdon, son of Hillel, judge Israel? A. 5 years. B. 8 years. C. 8 years. D. 20 years. You have 10 seconds. The answer is B. 8 years. And you can find this in Judges chapter 12 verse 14. Number 5. What was the name of Samson's father? A. Sora. B. Phileas. C. Ammon. D. Manoah. You have 10 seconds. The answer is D. Manoah, and you can find this in Judges chapter 13 verse 2. Number 6. Where was Samson when he died? A. Timnah. B. Philistine temple. C. Delilah's house. D. Jerusalem. You have 10 seconds. The answer is B. Philistine temple, and you can find this in Judges chapter 16, verses 23 to 27. Number 7. What did the silversmith do with Micah's silver? A. Gave it to the poor. B. Hid it in the ground. C. Gave it to Micah. D. Made it into an idol. You have 10 seconds. The answer is D. Made it into an idol, and you can find this in Judges chapter 17 verse 4. Number 8. Which men murdered the Levite's concubine? A. The men of Israel. B. The men of Gibeah. C. The men of Zidon. D. The men of Jabesh. You have 10 seconds. The answer is B. The men of Gibeah, and you can find this in Judges chapter 20 verses 4 to 5. Number 9. How many volunteer soldiers did Gideon have initially? A. 5,000. B. 10,000. C. 22,000. D. 32,000. You have 10 seconds. The answer is D, 32,000. And you can find this in Judges chapter 7 verse 3. Number 10. What equipment did Gideon issue to his soldiers? A. A sword, a shield, and a helmet. B. A trumpet, a pitcher, and a torch. C. The ark of God, a sword, and a trumpet. D. Slings and stones. You have 10 seconds. The answer is B. A trumpet, a pitcher, and a torch. And you can find this in Judges chapter 7 verse 16.